Always say something. A prize, motherfucker.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's going on, everybody? As we all know, mental health is a huge piece for me. And recently, as I become a better version of myself, I've decided that it's time for me to go to therapy because I understand how life can be a little overwhelming and we all need help navigating through the trenches of military service in and out of uniform. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. First, all you got to do is go to their site. Matter of fact, you can use my link right here. Answer a few questions and BetterHelp will match you with a professional who has years of experience helping people with struggles just like yours. You can do it all from your phone or computer via phone call or video chat or messaging, however you feel most comfortable. It's the easiest possible way to start talking to a therapist. You will be matched to a therapist usually within 48 hours so you can get started fast. Let BetterHelp connect you to a therapist who can support you all from the comfort of your home. Visit betterhelp.com/MeechSpeaks and enjoy a special discount on your first month. What's going on, everybody? It's that ordinary podcaster with the extraordinary thoughts that tells you to stop being great and be extraordinary. I'm Demetrius Thigpen, also known as Meech Speaks, and welcome back to another episode of the Talking Crazy podcast. Now, before we get started with this podcast, don't forget to head on over to your favorite streaming platform, whether that's Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and leave this podcast an honest review because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. All right, this is the first Monday of June, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but we are officially halfway through the new year. All right, I will say that again. We are halfway through the new year. If you have not gotten your shit together, then I promise you, man, like you got 6 months left. And if you don't get it together, you're going to find yourself on December 31st, January 1st, making the exact same New Year's resolution that you made last year. So once again, man, please, this is the first Monday of June, and we are halfway through the year. Now, today's episode, I just really want to just tell you right now, if you've been following me on social media, if you have been paying attention to the episodes lately, I'm talking to a certain type of person. You know what I mean? I'm talking to a certain type of Marine, airman, soldier, sailor. I'm talking to a certain type of person, okay? Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I make content for the doers. You feel me? I make content for the ones that's in the trenches. I make content for the ones that are trying to do the right thing despite the odds that are not stacked in their favor, despite the adversity that they have to overcome. But there is always just one thing that really, man, like really gets under my skin, bro. Like it's one thing that really gets under my skin. And it's honestly the people that I'm not even fucking talking to. All right. It's honestly the people that I'm not even talking to. If you quit, if you're quick to give up, if you're quick to walk away, if you're quick to make excuses, if you're quick to blame everybody else, I'm never going to be the person for you. You feel me? This will never be the podcast for you. I show up on your algorithm because you have an interest towards military stuff. But to be honest with you, I'm not the person for you. That's why like my content will always rub you the wrong way. However, it still gets under my skin at the simple fact of hearing the fucking excuses. Now, I'm talking about a video that I posted last week, and it was along the lines about like toxic leadership. And I said it flat out, man. Don't blame toxic leadership because you became a shitbag. You feel me? Like, don't blame toxic leadership because you became a shitbag. And right out the gate, it was mixed. It was mixed reviews. You feel me? It was mixed. You know, some people was like, hell yeah. You know, I ain't about to let them change who I am. I'm not about to let them stop me. You feel me? And then here comes the other group. You feel me? The ones I'm never talking to. The ones that I never make content about. The ones that aren't in the back of my mind when I'm making this content. They come in. You don't know. You're a toxic leader. You're the one that did this to me. You're just like all of, and it's like, dog, like I'm not that staff NCO that screwed you over. I'm not that sergeant that told you, you know, that held you accountable. I'm not that corporal that let you down. I'm not your shitty leadership. In fact, I'm actually the person that's just trying to tell you, man, lock the fuck in. You feel me? Lock the fuck in or you gonna let them win. And I bring that up, man, because of the simple fact that it seems like I will see that more than I see the other. All right. And I just really want to just say this, man. Today's episode is all about the victim mindset, okay? Now, I will start off by saying this real quick, okay? For those who do not know my journey in the military, you feel me, like my journey in the Marine Corps, I will start it off by saying that my journey in the very beginning was nothing but adversity. It was nothing but adversity. Some of it was me. You feel me? Some of it was me. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Coming from the east side of Detroit, raised basically off of survival. Going into the Marine Corps, I had a hard time inoculating to it. You feel me? I had a hard time with authority. I had a hard time with people saying certain things to me, and I'm supposed to say, good to go, Corporal. Understood. It just wasn't working out. You feel me? But at the exact same time, all right, before I talk about me, I will also acknowledge something that is very true. I will acknowledge something that was very true. I did come across toxic leadership. PFC, I encountered toxic lance corporals. Toxic lance corporals, I also encountered toxic corporals. Toxic corporals, I've also encountered toxic sergeants. And I've also encountered toxic staff and COs and above, you know? And I will bring this up, man. I will bring this up because although I'm talking about the victim mindset, I will not sit here. I will not sit here and try to act like toxic leadership is not a real fucking thing. I will not sit here and act like racism in the military is not a real thing. I will not sit here and act like there's somebody wearing the exact same rank as me that's not doing what they supposed to. That's a detriment to everyone around them. That causes havoc everywhere they go. That is literally their whole purpose in the military is to make good Marines get out. I will not sit here and act like that does not exist. I will not sit here and act like good Marines did not get out because of a shitbag staff sergeant or a shitty sergeant or a piece of shit corporal. I will not sit here and act like that. However, and I say this, man, some of that stuff was me. You feel me? Some of that was me. That adversity, I caused some of it. Them obstacles, I put some of them in my path. And I would be remiss if I sat here, man, and tried to blame it all on toxic leadership. You feel me? And once again, y'all already know, I'm never speaking from my high horse. This is your captain flying in from Experience Airlines, man. Like, please bear with me. I remember 2013, I got in JP. Now, I will tell y'all this, the same way that there's toxic leadership in the Marine Corps or in the military, there's good leaders. There's outstanding leaders. You feel me? Like there's leaders that you want to put up on your wall and just say like, I want to be just like that person. And I had some of those, you feel me? But at the exact same time, good leadership can only do so much when you're hell bent on doing whatever the fuck you want to do. And that was me. PFC Thigpen wanted to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do. You feel me? And when I was encountering toxic leadership, it was easier for them to be able to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do to me because I was already not going the way that I'm supposed to. Lance Corporal Thigpen tried to lock the fuck in, but once again, still had that chip on my shoulder. So by the time I got promoted to corporal, I'm a young NCO, man. Like I'm young leader. I made a mistake. You feel me? I ain't gonna get into the logistics about it. But once again, when you hell bent on doing whatever the fuck you want, them rules sometimes don't apply to you. You think they don't apply to you. And that's exactly what I thought. And sure enough, I put myself in a situation that not only jeopardized my livelihood, it actually almost got me kicked out of the military. You feel me? And I was deep in the whole, it's everybody else's fault. Everybody else is out to get me. How can y'all not see it my way? This isn't fair. When they brought the NJP to me, I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's take it to court martial. I'm that deep into it. You feel me? I'm that deep. And I really want to just start off by saying this real quick. If you are that deep into the fact that you cannot take accountability for the shit that you did, you feel me? For the problems you caused, for the storm that you caused, you are going to continue to dig a hole, right? And wonder why everybody else is standing around you and not helping you. That's how deep I was in. I requested court-martial to some shit I did. And I remember being around everybody, man, like being around everybody, telling everybody my perspective of the story. You know what I mean? Not the whole story, but, I'm telling them my perspective because that's the only perspective I know for a fact that's true. And I'm telling them my perspective. And they're telling me, hell yeah, man. I'll take it to court martial too. Fuck them. And I'm like, hell yeah. Sergeant Major, I had a Sergeant Major that will pull me in periodically to try to talk me out of going to court martial. And every time I would be like, nah, Sergeant Major, I'm going to take it. And he's trying, man, like he's trying. You feel me? And I really want to just tell whoever is listening right now, there's somebody in your corner. There's somebody in your corner right now that sees you playing this victim card. You know what I mean? Sees you going deeper and deeper into this victim mindset. Sees the fact that you're not taking accountability and is still trying to save you from your downfall. But you won't hear him. You won't hear him. You won't see him. And that's exactly what he was trying to do. And I remember my lawyer, right? Like my lawyer had to break it to me. He said, you'll beat the first 2 charges, but the last 2, nah, man, you're not going to beat those. You feel me? You're not going to beat those. In fact, not only are you're not going to beat them, you're probably looking at 7 years in the brig. And I was like, I had to, you know what I mean? And I remember sitting with that and I blamed everybody. And when I realized, like, man, like if I don't do something, man, I'm about to fuck this up. I had to accept whatever the fuck I had did. And I remember going to my Sergeant Major, man. Like I remember going to him and telling him I want to take the NJP. And he was like, about time you finally saw it everybody else's way. And I'm like, this, I hear that, Sergeant Major. And I remember walking into my NJP and the battalion CO, he said, Corporal Thigpen, do you have anything to say for yourself? And I looked him dead in the face and I said, sir, I take full responsibility for my actions. And I'm willing to accept whatever punishment you deem that's necessary. And he maxed me the fuck out, bro. Like, I ain't even about to lie to you. He maxed me the fuck out. And I know somebody's probably thinking like, oh, okay, so this is the part where, like, no, not at all. He maxed me the fuck out. 45, 100%. The only thing that they didn't do was take my rank. The only thing, they suspended that. And I was placed on, I think it was like a 6-month probation. But yeah. And I remember that day, man. Like I remember because if I was still in that victim mindset, right? Like if I was still in that victim mindset, I would have blamed the battalion CO. I would have blamed the sergeant major. I would have blamed my gunny. I would have blamed the people that I got into it with. I would blame everybody else. But the reality is that was me. And if I didn't own up to my shit and if I didn't accept full responsibility, I would have got myself kicked out of the Marine Corps. I bring that up, man, because there's a lot of people, man. And I don't know who me did this, but it's a lot of people out there that you cause the problems in your life. You feel me? You cause the problems in your life, but you're not willing to accept those problems. Let me rephrase that. You cause the problems in your life and you refuse to acknowledge the part that you play because you know that if you acknowledge it, then you're going to find out who bears the responsibility. And you can't handle the fact that it's you that fucked up. It's you that dropped the ball. It's you that said that. It's you that didn't do this. It's you that did not hold the line. And you're the reason why you're in this situation. Because you cannot accept that, you choose to just push it onto somebody else. You're going to blame it on toxic leadership. You're going to blame it on somebody else. You're going to blame it on the fucking weather. And that is the reason why you will never be successful. To be honest with you, you're going to move on. You're going to go to a different job. You're going to get out of the military and you're going to find out like, damn, man, why am I not passing my classes? Because you don't take responsibility for shit. It's the teacher's fault. Why do I keep getting fired from jobs? Because you don't take responsibility. You don't have accountability. That's why you keep getting fired. Your relationships, they constantly fail because of the simple fact that you don't take any ownership and you constantly repeat that cycle. And that is the biggest reason why I can't stand a victim mindset. That's the reason why I can't stand a victim mindset. So with that being said, today's episode is all about breaking the victim mindset. So let's get started and let's go ahead and get it over with. So let's pause this episode for a quick commercial break. What's going on, everybody? As an active duty service member, I know that eventually this chapter in the military will come to a close, and it can be filled with fear and stress. That's why I'm proud to partner with Master the Military, a veteran-founded community that believes that no one who serves should ever struggle financially, especially when there are so many programs designed to help us succeed. Master the Military helps military members and veterans unlock every benefit that they've earned and then leverage those benefits to their maximum potential. Whether you're transitioning into the civilian world, launching a business, or focused on building long-term wealth, Master the Military gives you the tools and guidance to succeed. Master the Military teaches not only how to access every VA benefit available to you, but also how to leverage the special programs built specifically for service members and veterans. From investing to entrepreneurship to real estate and business ownership, they show you the exact steps to move from confusion to clarity, from paycheck to paycheck to purpose-driven wealth. Master the Military is for active duty service members, reservists, and veterans, or anyone who wants to fully leverage the benefits that they've earned to build a better future. You will get classroom time with step-by-step videos, courses showing you exactly how to apply and use your benefits, a community filled with like-minded service members and veterans on the same mission, and calls with mentorship sessions where you can ask questions and get clarity from experts. And they're just getting started, with over 120 members already taking action. So if you're trying to get started, don't forget to head on over to the show notes, click the link so you can start transitioning with little stress, no fear, and to create a better future. So first things first, man, like a lot of people, man, it's so easy to get caught up in this victim mindset, man, because it's a place of comfort, to be honest with you. And I will say this, man, because I don't know who need to hear this, but a lot of y'all don't want to fix the problem because you look better as a victim. All right. You like the validation. You like the fact that people feel bad for you. You know, you don't want to fix the problem because if you fix the problem, you don't have something special about you anymore. You don't have that thing that people will grab it like, oh my God, like that happened to you. I feel so bad. You won't have that no more because you fixed the problem. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all like to play the victim. And let me rephrase that. A lot of y'all would rather be the victim than to fix the problem, because if you choose to fix the problem, you lose your validation. You lose your validation. And that has now become your new comfort. And you get upset with everybody else around you. You get upset at everybody else around you when they bring up the solution. And the reason why you get upset at the fact that they bring up the solution is because you don't have the courage, man. Like, you don't have the courage to be able to take that step towards it because you're afraid of who you're going to become once you fix it. You're afraid of the lesson that you're going to learn, because I'll tell you right now, everything that you encounter, it comes with a lesson. Every shortfall that you have, every triumph that you have, it comes with a fucking lesson. And because you are too afraid to find out what that lesson is, you would rather just be the victim. You would rather receive the validation of what a victim is. So when I tell everyone, man, don't let toxic leadership be the reason why you become a shitbag, or don't blame them because you became a shitbag. I'm serious, because you don't want to accept that. You encounter shitty leadership. You encounter somebody that didn't have your best effort. You encountered a situation that did not play in your favor. And rather than learn from it, grow from it, and don't let it happen again, you said, you know what? Fuck them. I'm getting out. Fuck them. This is what they want, then this is what I'll become. And I'm going to just say this real quick, because I don't know who need to hear this, man. But when you really put that into perspective, you know what I mean? Like, when you really put that into perspective, imagine me. I come from Detroit, Michigan. All right. Only options I had was either work at the factory or go to college, or probably end up selling drugs to end up dead or in jail. Imagine me doing all of this work to get into the military. You feel me? Get into the military. And then I encounter toxic leadership. I don't like it. And I will tell people this right now. If you don't like it, leave. You feel me? But you better change the way that you tell this story. All right? Because imagine telling somebody, yeah, you know, I encountered some bad leadership, and, you know, they wanted me to act like a shitbag. So I started acting like a shitbag, and I ended up getting separated. Ain't nobody gonna take your side. Ain't nobody gonna believe in you. Ain't nobody gonna validate that. You gotta, like, a lot of people don't realize, man, like, when you really take that into consideration, like, why didn't you become the change? Well, I don't know. I don't know why it didn't become a change. You hear that? You feel me? You hear how that sounds? We're afraid to accept the fault that we playing in this. And because you're afraid to accept the fault that you playing in this, man, like you do more harm than the toxic leader will ever do. Now, the one thing that I have learned is that toxic mentality, you know what I mean? Like that victim mindset that a lot of us tend to have, first and foremost, and I cannot stress this enough, all right? Is this something that's easy to break? No, it's not, bro. It's not, okay? It took me 6 months to be able to break it for myself. 6 months and a possible court-martial for me to break it. All right, so I know it may sound easy for me to sit here in this damn chair in front of this microphone and kick this shit, but please understand that when you get into that victim mindset, it is very hard to get out of. You know what I mean? Because once again, just like what I said, nobody wants to point the finger at ourselves. We don't want to look at ourselves in the mirror and say that it's our fault that we here. We don't want to look at ourselves in the mirror and say that, you know what, I fucking suck. We don't want to say that. And it doesn't help, man, that one thing about this victim mentality is that it's very contagious. And based off of the people that you surround yourself around can determine how long it's going to take for you to get out of this. Or let me rephrase that, why you're in it in the first place. Because I will tell you this right now, birds of a feather, they flock together. You know what I mean? Like if you see 3 pigeons, I promise you a 4th one about to show up. If you see 2 bums, I promise you the 3rd one about to show up. And if you see 3 lawyers, guess what? The 4th one about to show up. So if you surround yourself around other people that have this same mentality, that have this exact same mindset, then trust me, I promise you gonna be knee deep in this. You know what I mean? You knee deep in this. Just like what I had said in the very beginning of this story. I surrounded myself around other people, you feel me, that would validate this mentality that I had. You see what I'm saying? That were leading me down to my downfall. Like they were telling me, hell yeah, take it to court martial. Nobody told me to just accept the NJP because I fucked up. Nobody said that. Everybody was like, hell yeah, brother, go for it. And it took me to hear my lawyer tell me like, bro, like you facing like 7 years in a brig easily. And that's if they being nice for me to be able to break it. But everybody else ain't fortunate like that. A lot of us, man, we surround ourselves around people, man. Like, and I'll just be completely honest with you, though. Like, we surround ourselves around these people because we feel safe with these people. We feel comfortable around these people. So naturally, we gonna be around them. Even if they not good for us, even if they won't push us to be better, even if they won't hold us accountable, we feel safe amongst them. We got some people right now that won't tell us that we fucked up. All right. And I'll tell you right now, these are dangerous people to have around you. Dangerous people. Because they'll let you walk off a fucking cliff and say, hey, man, right or wrong, I'm with you, and jump off it with you. And that's the most dangerous type of person you want to have around you, because they could have easily told you going the wrong way. They could have easily told you like, hey, bro, tighten the fuck up. They could have easily told you like, hey, man, like you're wrong. But they said, nah, I'm riding with you. I'm riding with you. And jumped off the cliff with you. And I remember in 2013, right? Like in 2013, I had, it was my brother. There it is right there. It was my brother that actually brought it up to me. And I was telling him about like the bullshit that I was facing, you know what I mean? And telling him about the little shit that was going on in my, or at my office or at my shop. And he said, hey, bro, like, you know, I love you. You feel me? And I'm going to tell you this right now. You know, when somebody say like, when they tell you like, hey, you know, I love you, they about to say some shit that you may not like. They about to say some shit that you may not like, but you need to hear. You need to hear it. And that's exactly how he said. He was like, hey, bro, you know, I love you, bro. But you need to chill the fuck out. All right? Like a lot of the shit that you doing, bro, like you gonna get yourself like kicked out. And he was a Marine. And I remember hearing him say that. And I was like, man, I'll be all right. And he was like, nah, bro, like you won't. You know what I mean? Like, you won't. Like, you need to chill. And I still remember that to this day. You feel me? I still remember that to this day because that was the realest person around me at that time. And he was trying to. But here's the thing, though, because that mentality, just like what I said, that mentality, once you get in it, it's hard to get out. So you may hear some real shit. You may come across a person that's trying to save you. Like, he's trying to tell you, like, go right because you've been going left. And he's trying. And you may just, whatever, and still walk off. And sometimes you may need facts. You may need it. But the worst thing that could end up happening is that you surround yourself around more people that will tell you what you want to hear versus what you need to hear. Or even worse, they won't say shit to you at all. So I would tell you, man, like a lot of y'all, man, like, let me phrase that. A lot of us, man, we end up in this toxic ass victim mentality, this victim mindset, not just because of ourselves, but also because of the people that are around us. All right. Our circle, man, like that is supposed to grow us. You feel me? That's supposed to empower us. You feel me? The ones that are supposed to hold us accountable, it almost feels like it's a hospice because they just there for us to die. They just there for us to die. And they not correcting us. They validating this piss poor, weak ass mindset. And then we wonder why, like, what the fuck is going on? Take a look at the people that you keep around you. Take a look at yourself in the mirror. You are who you are around. Now, I will say this, man, because another reason why a lot of people will stay in this victim mindset, it ain't even because they want to be there. They're afraid to leave. You know what I mean? Because once again, that circle, right? Like that circle will it's comfort, it's safety. You feel me? But that circle will also turn on you. That circle will also turn on you. And I've noticed it when I put out certain pieces of content. When I'm talking about toxic leadership, everybody's like this. Hell yeah, brother, you hold them accountable. But as soon as I talk about accountability, everybody's like this. Fuck you. You're the toxic leader. And a lot of people actually face that in real life. And I remember somebody coming up to me and he's like, I'm trying to do right, but my friends, every time I try to do right, man, they always got something to say. Bro, I will tell you this right now. If you around people that the moment that you start to do right, they got something to say in a negative way, you need to get the fuck from around them. You feel me? You need to separate yourself from them because they hell bent on doing wrong. But that's the piece that a lot of people got to understand. You feel me? Is that a lot of us, man, like we want to leave that. We want to accept accountability. We want to grow from this, but we around other people that do not. And the moment that they realize that you don't want to grow from this anymore, like let me rephrase that. The moment that they realize that you want to grow from this, they'll turn on you. Oh, you think you better than us? You really gonna try to, what? You can't change the whole organization. It's just going to keep happening. Oh man, what do you think you're going to do? And they'll question you. They'll gaslight you. They'll gaslight you. They'll try to make you feel as if like you're doing something wrong. I remember, man, when I was getting my shit together, you feel me? I had a buddy, man, like we used to drink. We used to drink every Friday or every Saturday night together, man. And I'm talking about we would get shit-faced. You feel me? Thank God he stayed around the corner. Thank God he stayed around the corner because I had to walk to his house. And when I would come home, you feel me? Like I would come home, I would be so fucked up, I would just have to sleep on the couch. And I remember when I got myself together and I said, like, you know what? Like, I got to chill the fuck out. He said, man, I stopped fucking with you because of that. And I was like, why? He was like, I just couldn't take you serious because, you used to get shit-faced and you got kicked out of mess nights before and you was fighting and stuff like that. And I just couldn't take you serious. And I thought like you thought that you was just so much better than everybody. And I was like, nah, bro, like, I don't think that I'm better than anybody. I just knew that I needed to be better than what the fuck I was doing. That's why. And I mean, obviously we will rectify from that, but that was a clear indicator, man, that when you around people that have that mindset and they start to see you leave, it's just like that crab in a barrel mentality or that metaphor. They start to try to pull you back, say shit that's going to trigger you to get back into who you used to be. They don't want to see you leave because the thing that a lot of people got to understand is that misery loves company. And when I hear it, when I hear misery loves company, it's not that misery wants to bring everybody down. Misery just don't want to be alone. That's what it is. And when they see you leaving, they realize like, oh shit, if he leaves, man, it'd just be me. And there's no longer strength in numbers. You feel me? There's no longer this whole everybody's validating each other in this toxic mentality. It's just me. And I'll become the outlier. Nah, he gotta come back. He gotta come back. So I will tell you, man, one of the biggest things, man, like you gotta be able to break this. And it looks so obvious in the military. Let me rephrase that, man, because sometimes it doesn't. It shows up in different ways in the military. You feel me? If you feel like you're lacking mentorship, ask yourself, am I really lacking mentorship or am I not hearing what the fuck they saying? If you feel like they constantly picking on you, ask yourself, you know what I mean? Are they constantly picking on me or are they wanting me to do better? Am I making the same mistake? If you feel like you're not getting promoted, ask yourself, are you ready to get promoted? Or are you making the exact same mistakes and they refuse to promote you because they know what you're going to do? Now, as we come to a close to this episode, man, I cannot stress this enough. Is toxic leadership a real thing? 100%. Are there real victims? 100%. But just like what I said in the last episode and in the last couple of clips that I've been dropping, don't blame toxic leadership. Don't blame toxic leadership because you became a shitbag. And don't sit there and make a mistake and live in the mistake and seek out validation of people that are just going to empower you off of your mistake. Grow from that. You better than that. And just like that, another extraordinary thought left this ordinary mind, and I hope you enjoyed this episode half as much as I enjoyed making it. Do me a favor real quick, because a lot of people will watch this episode, but you won't subscribe to this episode. You won't follow this episode. And the one thing that I need you to definitely do is share this episode, because this podcast deserves to grow just as much as we do. So with that being said, stay motivated, stay hungry. I'm out.